Recently, all we've been seeing in the world of wrestling news is CM Punk and everything going on with him. In case you weren't aware somehow, he got into a fight with the Elite Backstage and his AEW career is now in question. I bet you didn't know that, but we are not going to be talking about that in today's video. But today, instead, we're going to be discussing CM Punk's turbulent history of backstage beefs. We're going to look through some of CM Punk's most notable real-life feuds in chronological order. Make sure to subscribe, like the video, and leave a comment with your favorite CM Punk story. Let's get into the video. Let's go. Who else to start with but Teddy Hart? Let's talk about how a backstage argument with CM Punk led to both being cut loose from TNA. Teddy Hart was well known for having attitude problems and causing a promotion in just about every promotion that he went to. CM Punk, as we are discussing in this video, is known for having problems with many different people in wrestling, and so I wonder what happens when these two share a locker room together. Let's discuss how these two's beef came to be. As well as working for TNA at the same time, CM Punk and Teddy Hart both worked for Ring of Honor at the same time, and during a Ring of Honor show in Elizabeth, New Jersey, Teddy Hart competed in a multi-man cage match where he went off the script and kept doing moonsaults over and over off the top of the cage. So much so that he got sick and threw up in the ring. Teddy Hart got major heat for this. After the match, he was removed physically from the arena by other wrestlers, and many wrestlers took issue with him, CM Punk being one of them, and the issues between the two arose from there, coming to a head when they got into a fight at a restaurant. P.E. Williams witnessed the events going on in front of his very eyes, and here is what he recalls. He was at a restaurant grabbing a meal together with Punk, but Teddy Hart walked in. Words were exchanged between the two, then they took it outside. Williams recalls seeing some punches thrown, Punk tripping over, and Hart ending up on top of him, before Sabu, of all people, the Peacemaker Sabu, came in to separate the two. It was said to be a quick exchange with no real winner, but soon after, Teddy Hart's TNA contract was terminated and CM Punk would stop appearing for TNA, though Sabu denied that this fight had anything to do with it. CM Punk and Kevin Steen are two of the most successful and best Ring of Honor wrestlers. Arguably, they are the two best and most successful Ring of Honor wrestlers based on their in-ring work and everything they did after Ring of Honor. However, numerous reports suggest that CM Punk was not fond of Kevin Steen at first during their Ring of Honor run together, and apparently Punk got very upset with Steen backstage at a Ring of Honor show for his decision to wear a shirt during matches. Steen in a shoot interview says that Gabe Sapolsky had made him wear a singlet at Ring of Honor, but after a few months, Steen asked if he could go back to wearing a shirt, and Gabe gave him approval, but then Gabe apparently went and told CM Punk, and that afternoon, Punk made a jab at Owens for wanting to wear a shirt, which Steen didn't take personally, but after his match, he walked backstage to see CM Punk standing there, and Steen jokingly said, "Are you happy now?" But Punk got very upset and took it as Steen trying to shore him up and shouted at him and calling him disrespectful. Steen, however, does state in this interview that he never took it personally, and after a few years, the two would get to know each other more, and this was more of a thing of the past, and they actually would get along. CM Punk and RYBACK had two major feuds in the WWE, one in 2012 where RYBACK challenged for Punk's WWE title, and another in 2013 with Paul Heyman in the middle of it. However, Punk has been on the record in stating that he hated working with RYBACK. He spoke very openly about his time working with RYBACK on the infamous CM Punk edition of COLT Cabana's Art of Wrestling podcast. In 2012, RYBACK got astronomically over to the point where he got a match with CM Punk at Hell in a Cell 2012. Literally, Skip Sheffield challenged Punk for the WWE title. Punk retained and the two would continue their feud, culminating in a TLC match in January 2013, where Punk once again retained. However, following this, Punk supposedly did not want to work with RYBACK again, feeling that RYBACK was unsafe in the ring. However, this wish was not granted, as in late 2013, CM Punk would be placed into a feud with RYBACK once again. It was during this feud that RYBACK botched putting CM Punk through a table, which CM Punk dressed him down for backstage, making RYBACK admit to being effing stupid. They had their Hell in a Cell match and ended their feud. Punk left WWE in 2014, and that's the end of their beef. Until CM Punk went on the Art of Wrestling podcast and told all of this, as well as accusing him of taking steroids. These two will probably never see eye to eye. It's always been fairly well known that one of CM Punk's biggest grievances with his run in WWE was that he never got to main event WrestleMania like he thought he deserved. It annoyed him that Rock and Cena got to main event in 2012, it annoyed him that Rock and Cena got to do it again in 2013, and it annoyed him that he didn't get to main event whilst WWE champion. But it especially annoyed him that The Miz main evented at WrestleMania and he didn't. In his WWE-produced documentary Best in the World, CM Punk spoke very openly about feeling insulted about The Miz main eventing Mania. Funnily enough, Miz was in this documentary as well, praising CM Punk. And even more shocking is that Punk and Miz were apparently friends at a point in time. The Miz spoke about how he was quite caught off guard by Punk's comments, and years later, Miz made an appearance on WWE Backstage, the show where Punk had just debuted as a host on. Unfortunately, him and Miz didn't appear on screen together, but the Miz cut a promo on the show towards Punk, which Punk responded to in a very friendly way. CM Punk and Colt Cabana were best friends for well over a decade, longtime rivals and partners on the indie scene, and Chicago brothers. Fast forward to 2022, and CM Punk is dissing him in a media scrum before getting into a scrap with the Elite? How did this happen? What changed? Well, remember the podcast episode that I've referenced so many times in this interview on Art of Wrestling, Punk's appearance on there? Well, that episode was Punk's first wrestling interview since leaving the WWE, and he told all, including his experience with former WWE doctor Chris Amann, accusing him of failing to treat a staph infection, and this would lead to a lawsuit. In February 2015, Chris Amann filed a defamation lawsuit against CM Punk and Colt Cabana, seeking about $4 million. The case wouldn't go into trial until all the way in 2018, where the judge ruled in favour to CM Punk and Colt Cabana. All was well and good for Punk and Colt. They won the lawsuit and were best bros for life. Well, not quite, because in August 2018, Colt Cabana would file a lawsuit against Punk. He was alleging a breach of contract and fraud due to Punk's alleged agreement and then later refusal to pay for Colt's legal fees in the Amann lawsuit. Colton sought for $200,000 as well as $1 million in punitive damages, to which Punk filed a counterclaim for $600,000. Both cases were settled in 2019 with no financial compensation for either party. But bridge burnt, friendship over, and somehow this falling out made its way all the way to AEW in 2022, and somehow led to a fight between CM Punk and the Elite, and the potential death of his AEW career. Colt Cabana might have won, but time will tell if we see CM Punk make his AEW return or not. That's it from me today, guys. Hope you enjoyed me talking about all of CM Punk's turbulent backstage history. December is coming up soon. Got a big month ahead for content, so prepare for more Degenerates content, all the jazz you like to see. And let me know in the comments what videos you do want to see. Give me some video ideas, people to discuss, topics to discuss. I'll see you all soon. Goodbye, and keep on rolling.